Scheduled to start till 5:30, but you're welcome to go early. Okay, we're live. We're live. Okay,
Ah,
looks like we're online and hopefully everything's working. And maybe if you are watching this, you could maybe give us a heads up that you can see it. I can see. There we go. Beautiful. All right. Hello, everybody. My name is Naomi Stockman. I am the founder of My Local Hypnosis and Anxiety Free Life. And I'm here today talking to you about overcoming anxiety and depression. And my mission is to help as many people as possible to overcome anxiety and depression worldwide and to be able to achieve happiness and calm and enjoy life. So, today I'm here with Tracy Lee. She's our much loved anxiety and anxiety free life program support coordinator. And she has been working with me now for about 2 years and delivering absolutely life changing treatments for anxiety, depression, PTSD. Tracy is amazing. I'm sure you'll agree. So, welcome, Tracy.
thanks, Naomi. Hi, everybody. Welcome to those who's joining us live. It's awesome to be here, and I'm so looking forward to having this conversation with you and just getting stuck into a topic that's so relevant today. Is it possible to overcome anxiety? That is like the $1,000,000 question. So, yeah, lots of stories, lots of interesting things to share there. So, yeah, happy to be here. Thanks.
Beautiful. Okay, so we did have a poll in all our groups and on our pages, and you did vote, and the vote came in. It was very close. It was actually a tie on some of the polls. But what is it over? Is it possible to overcome anxiety? Was the one that we selected to go with today. And so we're going to run through a couple of aspects of that. So the first part is that if you have had anxiety, if you have experienced anxiety, the first place that we generally would go, well, where I went was to the doctor, and the doctor would then obviously make some kind of assessment, look at a mental health plan, maybe give you a referral to a psychologist or a psychiatrist. And so the first place that gives us information about this experience of anxiety is usually the medical industry. And when we have anxiety, the symptoms that we have could be like feeling on edge, feeling anxious, restless, having shortness of breath or irritability, not being able to concentrate or sleep, trembling, feeling like you don't want to socialize or avoid situations, or even having panic attacks. And I know I've had these experiences, and I believe you have too. Is that right, Tracy?
Oh, yes, absolutely. Finding any excuse not to join a social, those things in the moment where you say, no, no, I'll be there. And then before the time you get so nervous, you don't want to go. You think, what was I thinking agreeing to that in my 5 minutes of extroverted, trace? And the thing is, it's like, yes, you avoid any and all situations. And in fact, things do manifest. You get your stomach gets upset. There's like very real symptoms and excuses for you to say, oops, sorry, I can't make it. And it's all stems down to that social anxiety and those things that relate to that because it's all connected.
Mm. And so then we end up in talk therapy typically, which can be helpful, and it has its place. And I know that I've been to psychologists and counselors, and I remember one time I wrote out like half a novel to take with me because I thought she needs to hear my backstory so she can understand where I'm coming from, know
Mm.
all about me. And when the counselor takes that and then just puts it to the side, it's like, well, you're not even interested in why I'm actually here. So I found
Mm.
I didn't actually get much from talk therapy. What were your thoughts on that, Tracy?
My own experience is I was very frustrated. So I was seeing a therapist for a while for anxiety, depression, and I remember the one day I was extremely agitated, and I said to my therapist, "Why do I have to deal with this? Why is it that everybody else out there is so calm, cool, and collected? They have their life together, and I have to do this, and I'm on medication, everything." And it was explained to me that, you know, um, think of it like blood pressure. You just need to take a pill for the rest of your life. You need to manage it. It's something that it's just the way you're wired. It's the way you put together. And I was led to believe that that was something that I just had to deal with and live with, and that was part of who I was. And I accepted that until until I came across like you're, working with you and going through the program myself and seeing so many people come to the other side and actually realizing that you don't have to live with it. You can overcome it. But I genuinely believed this is the way I am. This is where I'm wired. Let's just learn to manage it. And
Mm.
yeah, no, that was totally not the right path. But that's what I believed. Yeah, that was my experience. Very frustrated because I believed, surely there must be something. Intrinsically, there's something. There must be something that can help with this. But I had to make peace with it, so to speak. And yeah, luckily
And
that
there's
wasn't the case.
and there's that other line about a chemical imbalance in the brain, which has been
Yes.
absolutely disregarded now, even by the medical profession. But it's still that big echo out there that is, you know, the way that people
Mm,
may have been led to believe is that you have an imbalance of chemicals in your brain, which is just not true. They're
mm,
natural,
mm,
they're
mm.
normal and natural parts of our makeup. It's just been dysregulated. So
And of course, sorry to interrupt you there, but and of course it's well, your mum had anxiety, your gran had anxiety. It's just in the family. It's just something that, unfortunately you got the gene. That's another
mm,
big thing
oh,
that's
yeah,
like
that'll be
led
another
through.
topic. We won't go there today. Yeah.
That's a whole other topic.
Generational epigenetics, there's whole fascinating
Mm,
layers and layers of the genetic stuff, isn't there? So, okay, so when we are anxious, it can be hard for people around us to understand what we're going through and be able to support us. And so, a lot of times we run groups and we have people coming in, and the feedback that we get is that people are either sick. They say people are sick of hearing me whinge, or people are saying you're doing it to yourself, or it's all in your head, or those kinds of things, isn't it? That we're not, it's hard for
mm,
somebody who's not anxious or has never had anxiety to actually understand what the hell's going on and why we would be feeling or saying that we're feeling a certain way.
mm. A lot of the ladies that come through, you hear they say, but I hear a lot of, but your life's so good. What do you have to be anxious about? Just breathe. Why are you so sensitive? Those kind of things. And they say, but it's not that I'm ungrateful for my life. I have this anxiety that's just overwhelming, and they don't quite understand it as well. That how it all works.
That's right. That's right. And then it affects how we think of ourselves and what we're saying to ourselves as well. So it
Mm,
affects like so many areas of your life. Like we see people who, and I'd be one of these, where they can function really well at work, but then there might be another area that's not working,
mm,
like relationships, or that the actual stress of having to fake it, like, you know
yeah.
it's exhausting to fake it and uncomfortable. Like,
Mm,
it can be a lot of pressure to, make
yeah.
yourself sort of stay in a situation that doesn't feel good. So,
It's exactly like you said. Now that it's exhausting.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. So, when we are the person that's suffering anxiety and we've been told by doctors that there's no solution and we're trying to manage it, and I know there's other therapies, like other than counseling, you can do meditation and yoga and things like that to manage it, and breathing. So it's always around managing anxiety, isn't it?
It's always around that. It's something you just got to live with, just manage it. How do you cope with it? And at the end of the day, you're just existing with this challenging anxiety and everything that you have to deal with every day. And it does. It becomes exhausting because now what you're doing is you're so easily triggered by everything because you're still in that whole fight, flight, freeze.
Yeah.
Anxious state. So everything is triggered. The kids will scream, you get triggered. The boss looks at you funny, you're triggered. it doesn't matter what, you have to go to a social setting. Oh, you're triggered, you don't want to go. And everything is constantly, you in this. A lot of the ladies say, I just want to be able to breathe. That
Mm,
they're like this wound up tight. Oh, I just want to breathe. And it's remove those triggers. So yeah, it's exhausting.
that's right. So we were talking about triggers, but it's not always there's not always logical triggers, especially with
Mm,
panic attacks. It can just be, and I see this all the time where people say, but there's nothing happened. Like I was fine one
mm,
minute, and then all of a sudden I was having a panic attack and I had to pull over in the car. I mean, a lot of panic attacks happen in
mm,
the car, or um, very strange places where you just wouldn't expect it, like just out of nowhere. And
mm, mm,
those panic attacks can come, like that can be the first experience of anxiety, can be just having a panic attack. So everybody experiences it differently. And for
mm,
me personally, anxiety is linked to, and I don't know if you have had this, Tracy, but I can get like we're to a point where the fight flight freeze kicks in and I actually will have rage, like where I start to like explode, and it's not
mm,
good. I mean, it's not, you don't want to explode on your family or friends or have like backlash onto other people because you're not coping on the inside.
mm,
And can you
mm.
relate to that? Can anyone else relate to that?
It's that small little trigger. It's something that isn't even rational, and then the people around you obviously are left going, "What just happened?" But they don't realize everything that's been building up inside, and it's literally like a pressure cooker at the end of the day.
I'm not monitoring comments, so if you are watching, I can see some comments coming up on the side of our platform. I can't see who is typing, but feel free to comment if you've got any questions. We'd be happy to answer them for you live. Now, Tracy, I can see Svetlana's watching actually, and someone else. So if you're watching the replay of this, just give me a hashtag replay so we can see that you've watched it, and put any questions or comments there. So Tracy, we're going to move to the truth about
Mm,
anxiety, because everything we're led to believe about managing this condition and it being lifelong, and you just being an anxious person, is actually not true. And I know this to be not true from my
mm,
experience. I know this to be not true from the clients that I've worked with over the past several years. And I'm sure you can agree with your experience. Why can you share a little bit about your experience working with the ladies that have come through the program in the past couple of years?
yes.
I know you like this
Oh my word.
subject.
It is. It is amazing. So the funniest thing, or the most interesting thing, and I was one of them, so I can relate. When the program participants, or when people actually come through your clinic, the first thing is they are extremely cynical, and I was too, because of what I'd been led to believe. So, of course,
Mm,
you can overcome it. You think, really, I've been dealing with this for so long. I mean, like sometimes you hear, I've been dealing with this for 30 years now. I've
mm,
tried everything. Do you really think you can? But the thing is, people get to a stage where you're so desperate to just manage it better. If somebody says eat wood, it'll help, you'll do it. You at that stage
yeah.
where literally you'll try anything. So a lot of the people start off being extremely cynical, rightly so, because I was one of them. And it is phenomenal how by the end of the program, or whatever it is that they've gone through, and they realize they are actual, you can switch off those triggers, you can overcome it. It's so amazing because, first of all, I hear a lot is, I can breathe again. I feel like I can breathe. One of the ladies actually said to me, my husband looks so good to me again. She wasn't annoyed by him all the time. She actually thought, well, oh, okay, well, you're not too
Oh,
bad.
it's
So
so funny,
yeah, so
the different things.
yeah, yeah. So and the most remarkable thing for me is, it's almost as if the only way I can explain it is like a light gets switched on inside them. Every single one of them. It is amazing. It's like suddenly there's this. this different energy, this different light. It's absolutely remarkable. I love it. Best job in the world. I love what I do because I get to see this again and again and again. How they go from being so cynical and not quite sure about this whole thing, but let's see where it goes, to wow, mind blown. Like, who would have thought it was possible? I was one of them. So
We've
yes,
actually
I know
talked about
exactly how it feels.
we've actually talked about doing before and after photos, haven't we? Because you can
Photos.
see the difference in people's face afterwards. And the thing that people say over and over again is, I feel lighter. It's like a weight's been
Yes.
lifted off my chest. And
Yes.
I know that feeling. I know the feeling of the bricks on your chest, and I know what it feels like when they're gone. And it's so good to think that when you see someone have that freedom and that relief from
Yeah.
something that they thought was permanent and part of who
Mm.
they are, because it becomes part of your
Yeah.
identity. Like, oh, I have anxiety, I'm an anxious person, blah 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 blah, and it's in your self
Precisely.
talk. Yeah,
Mm.
so
Yeah.
it's a huge thing.
And they
So
say, I don't feel like I need to hide anymore. That's a
yes,
big one.
yes, I can be seen, I can be heard.
Mm.
It's safe to get out there in the world and be excited about possibilities and the future,
Yeah.
and start and draw a line in the sand and put the past behind and make something in the future that does not have the word
Mm.
anxiety in it at all. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And I think what comes up a lot as well is they say how amazing it is when things, because you're still able to react to stressful events or to something that happens. But one thing that comes up a lot is when they say it's amazing that I react just to that and I'm not reacting to that with everything else that I've been carrying with me for all this time. They're just reacting to
Mm,
that one thing and then they can move past it. That's a big thing that comes up again and again. That they can just get over things and move on and it's okay. You know, things
yeah,
happen.
it's like that saying,
It's like this
the
this
straw.
new sense of it's okay, we're good. Carry on, it's amazing. I love it.
Yeah, that's right. There's more space, and so you're
Are you there?
not always at the brink
Oh,
of
I think I've lost.
something. Yeah, I think our internet has a little bit of an issue there. I might have lost you. Can you hear me?
Disappearing there. Yeah, I can hear you fine now. Can you hear me?
Oh,
Must
beautiful.
be gremlins.
Okay, so all the content in the program is based on reputable, researched, effective processes that are utilized. Oh, good. Excellent. I can see someone said we can hear. We only use reputable processes that are combined to create a program in a systematic order that's delivered over 6 weeks, and the outcomes are guaranteed. The reason we do that is because we've actually never seen somebody that didn't get results. Even
Yeah,
people that
never.
have been resistant, even people that
Mm.
have, been in
Been
situations and
cynical.
circumstances that
Mm.
were against them, where it's kind of like a hard situation as well as everything else.
Mm.
Obviously, the outcome is dependent on the person in the program doing the processes and working and being willing. So before anyone comes into the program, we always qualify that we believe that people are ready to do the program and
Yeah,
willing, and that they're not going to sabotage themselves, because we all do that, don't we? I know I do.
that's exactly it.
Self-sabotage.
Mm. Yep. Oh, things are starting to go well. What can we do? Let's just no, no, definitely need to qualify people. And I just want to say one thing as well, that when you're talking about the program, um, the amount of different tools that you've put together, I think it's the combination and how you've created the program with various things, because it's not a one size fits all. Everybody's so different.
Mm,
So the different mechanisms you've put in there and the different tools, it just works brilliantly. It's just the first time that I think there is something that is so informative. It's not just a matter of do this, do that, and not explaining why. There's a lot of information, like you say. You have to take ownership and you have to do your part as well. Otherwise, you've got to be very ready to take it on.
Yes. Yeah. So just so that everybody gets a bit of a picture of what Tracy and I actually do, the content of the program is based around, number one, education. So it's not a, week one, we want you to do this, week two, we want you to do that. There's a lot of training. So you come out with an actual new sort of breadth of knowledge around this area of expertise and a new set of skill sets. And it's not, things like breathing and counting and stuff like that. It's actual processes where there's a lot of one-to-one stuff, but the end goal is to reset the nervous system so that the sympathetic nervous system, which has been activated through life, and we all live really stressful lives in this modern day and age. We're continuously on, we don't sit around campfires chewing on sticks anymore and reflecting and listening to stories, where it's just go, 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 blue light in our face all day long, pressure, jobs, money, bills, responsibility, all that sort of stuff. But not just that, but everyone's got a story. Like, we've all had our experiences, and there's a whole stack of stuff that banks up. And you might have heard the thing of like, she's got baggage or he's got baggage. Like, we've all got baggage, but you can lighten that baggage by switching off certain aspects of experiences where there's an emotional charge left in there, in things. And there's specific techniques on how to do that. And once we do that, our sympathetic nervous system can reset, and that then allows our parasympathetic nervous system to be able to process. And once that's switched back on, our digestion can work, our immune system is working more efficiently. We're not sick all the time or tired all the time. And our sleep cycles are better. So depending, there's a whole stack of different reasons why someone would get anxiety in the first place, but there's only one real underlying reason and cause. And once we address that, unique to each person, downregulate the stress response and get us back. So because anxiety is a natural part of life, that means that it's like the gas has been, the foot's been left on the accelerator. We just need to get that back off so that it's there when we need it. Because we do need to have those responses, but not, all the time, not to go to work or to socialize or to, walk through a supermarket. So once we can reset that, we can get that calm happening. And then it's not just really about resetting that, because there's also got to be a change in thinking processes, a change in internal self-talk, and more of an awareness of what is going on and who's in control and who's running this show called life. Because it's so easy to think of life that it's happening to us. And I mean, I'm like that occasionally too, like, especially like things like this damn COVID and this damn rain that just won't go away and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, my life is my choice, my responsibility. And when that choice or the power gets taken away from us, it can feel really powerless. And that's when we sort of go into like a, let's call it a not effective state, so which we can manage. But that's all part. That's part of the little puzzle that we put together with people as they come through the program. Process.
Yep.
Well, thank you. Wow, that's our first live. We're pretty much wrapping up. Anything else we haven't covered for being able to overcome anxiety? And the question.
Yeah, I think we touched on the important things. As a start, like you said previously, there is so many other areas that we can go into, like a whole other discussion. So we'd be on here for hours. But yeah, I think that's basically it. Is it possible to overcome anxiety and depression?
Absolutely. Yes, it is. We see it
I have
every
seen
day.
it again and again and again and again. The most cynical people at the end of it are going, wow, okay, this actually works. So yeah, yes, absolutely you can.
Okay, so just to wrap up, I just if you'd like to speak to me about your specific situation, or if you'd like to know more about the Anxiety Free Life program, just simply drop us a comment or message, or direct message, and we can connect with you. Alternatively, you can visit mylocalhypnosis.com.au, click on programs. There's some information there and some links. And just remember, no one needs to live life with anxiety. Thank you for watching, and we'll be back next Friday at 4 p.m. to cover off another topic. Please vote on our poll, and just thanks for watching. We appreciate you, and we're here for you if you need us.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.